Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency in California after growing concerns over the spread of bird flu. Experts are also encouraging you to take precaution to protect your pets. Madeline Bernstein is the president of SPCALA, and she joins us now with how owners can help keep our animals safe. It is a concern, and there's a lot of confusion surrounding this, who can get it, how they can get it. So let's start right there and talk about how you can keep your pets safe.
So for one thing, you don't want to feed them either table scraps or any food that's got raw milk products, any kind of dairy products that you might be getting frozen. If you're giving them table scraps and it's poultry, make sure the poultry is very well cooked. You want to keep your pets safe inside, but I'll tell you the bad news, in a lot of cats around the world that have developed the bird flu, a lot of them have been indoor cats. And what they're starting to see is that there could be infected birds that are part of the, the composition of the cat food. So, this is going to get, not to be a pessimist, it's happy holidays, everybody, but my name is worst case scenario. So the other thing you want to do is if you're hiking with a dog, for example, and they're in the wild and they're touching animal feces, they're walking in, you're walking in feces and stuff, keep those shoes out. And if you're in a shelter, make sure you have PPE on if you're handling birds. And, the usual stuff, a lot of COVID, everything that we learned with COVID-19, we should revisit.
The COVID protocols. Right. I think what's so confusing about this one is it's birds, but then it's also cows, it's also dairy, and then it's also the food that you buy that might be infected with it that you don't even know it's there.
It's worse than that. The way this spreads through secretions, it spreads through feces, it spreads through what we call fomite transfer. So if you have the infection on your feet, you get into your car, and then someone else gets in the car, you're starting to transfer the virus. You're getting splashed with raw milk, you're touching machinery. But here's the thing, birds fly, okay? So you have migratory birds dropping feces in zoos, zoo animals and endangered species, cats, tigers, things like that are coming down with it because this is one of those diseases that can travel the globe very, very quickly. And so while right now cat to human there's that one case, but we don't know what other comorbidities they may have.
It also always starts with one case, right?
This disease is probably one mutation away from becoming zoonotic. So you want to be careful when you're outside. If you see dead birds, report it immediately to your local health department. Try to keep your cats inside as much as possible. Last night I was at a gathering where, as I started to talk and say, I can't stay up really late because they're waking me up early, people started changing their cat food orders to fish, right? Okay. Things like that, because they started to get paranoid about the fact that you could have infected poultry that's been processed into the cat.
And there's no vaccination.
No, and don't let anyone tell you, there are flu vaccines for animals. But again, the flu vaccine, go back to what we learned in COVID-19, the flu vaccine is a flu vaccine, but it is not a particular vaccine to target this avian H1N1, just like getting a flu shot didn't stop you from getting COVID. And it's the kind of thing where you shouldn't buy one if someone tells you this is going to be safe and protect your cat from. It's not.
So quickly, we're running out of time, but what are the symptoms people should be looking out for, and when should they take their pet to the vet? Okay,
so bird flu symptoms can be worse, but at least in the beginning, if you're a cat or even anyone in your family that may have handled poultry birds or came in contact, if you see conjunctivitis, if you see congestion, if you see listlessness. If your cat is listless, if you see those things, any neurological symptoms, jaundice, because this can progress very quickly, it can get hemorrhagic really quickly, unlike the regular flu. And the first thing you want to do is take your cat in. And for those of you feeding feral cats and those shelter workers who are getting incoming from various communities of cats where you don't necessarily know where they come from, that's what we do. We're recommending that animal control officers, humane officers, investigators, shelter veterinarians, all take the proper precautions so that something like this doesn't spread through, the shelter population, and then your family.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, not something we want to have to talk about or deal with, but it's really important because our pets are our family,
Right.
so we really appreciate you coming
and
in
they
today.
fly. Remember
Yes.
that. They're
Yes.
flying. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate
Take
it.
care.
Jamie, back to you.